guys in and out. How do you think they performed so far?
I think we've done a good job. I mean, there's a lot of room for improvement. I mean, we're very young inside. We got to just continue to make strides weekly, and hopefully we'll hit that mark here real soon.
It's got to perk your ears up a little bit as a defensive line coach when you're playing the nation's #1 rushing team. Just what's been the mindset and what have you been telling the guys about what they have to do this week?
Well, it's the same every week. They just happen to be the next team on the schedule, and they just happen to be the #1 rushing team in the country. Our philosophy is to stop the run every week. I challenge these guys every week, just like this week, to go out and play your responsibility, be physical, control the line of scrimmage, and play in the backfield. And that's something that we're going to preach every week. And this week, though, it does present a challenge because they're big and they're physical up front. And, we've got to match that physicality and that strength, and that's the plan.
You had some young guys get a lot of their first snaps that first week. What improvements did you see in the second week with some of those younger guys?
They've done a good job. Jaden Crumity and Fabian Lovett. I mean, they're really growing up. You've seen a lot of improvement from the first game to the second game. But I mean, even with that, we're still so far away. But those guys they're growing up. They're what we say. They're starting to form calluses on, and they're understanding what's happening, and they're getting the reps, and hopefully here real soon we'll have them going and playing the way we really want them to play on a consistent basis.
As a coach, what is the challenge of having such a young group, or I guess how much of a harder does that maybe make your job in terms of just bringing guys along and expediting the process?
Well, it's just developing discipline. I mean, those guys they were so much bigger and so much stronger than guys in high school that they could play with no technique, and they could just they can throw people around and be physical and put their eyes all over the place and still make plays. That can't happen here, even with the teams we've played up to this point, and it definitely can't happen as we go throughout our schedule. So the biggest challenge is just getting them to understand that a lot of times when you do your job, even if you don't make the play, you've done your job, and it makes the defense better. And so and they're understanding that, and they're growing it weekly.
How interesting was last week for you going against your alma mater and the place that you coached at?
Well, it was good. It was fun. I got a lot of texts throughout the week from guys that were sending me support from me. But at the very end, it was Southern Miss to the top, that whole deal at the very end. And I told him, hey, I'll talk to him after the game. But I wish them the best. I always do. But for those 3 hours Saturday, I was trying to kick their behind, just like we're gonna try and do everybody else.
Talk about how Marquise has been played in position so far.
He's been doing good. I tell you, it's been a battle right now between Marquise and Kobe, and they've been playing really hard. And I feel comfortable with any of the top four guys that I have out there at any time. But he's coming along. He's playing hard, and he had a chance to make some plays Saturday, and he did that, and really gave us a lift there with the sack fumble.
When you've got 3 different offenses in 3 consecutive weeks, I mean, does it change the job for you at all?
Well, I mean, a little bit, but really it's just about being consistent in your technique. I mean, playing certain techniques, they're the same regardless of who you're playing. The biggest part of that is more so when you get on the second and third level, guys, that it changes where your eyes should be, who you're looking at, all of that. For us, it's pretty simple. Well, I say simple, but it's pretty generic in the sense that you play certain techniques when you're lined up in certain places, and that's what it is.
How much in week 2 did it help having Lee back out there to kind of help some of those young guys through the rough spots?
It was good. It was good. He's an older guy that have had some reps around here, and it was good having him back out there.
Kind of in that vein, I mean, with as much experience as you have on the outside between Chauncey and Marquise, just older guys necessarily, how much does that help just with the younger guys and bringing them along?
It helps a lot because those guys challenge them a lot. I mean, they get in their face and they challenge them a lot, and so they're growing up fast. The Lovitts and the Crumitys and the Cam Youngs, those guys are growing up fast, and we need them to grow up fast. But you're dealing with Chauncey Rivers and Marquise and Kobe and those guys who've played a lot of reps. Those guys understand what it takes, and the younger guys, they're very receptive of all the things that they're getting right now from those guys. So it's helping a lot.
Even with the growing pains and the mistakes those guys are going to make, the young ones, is it fun for a coach to develop guys with that kind of raw talent?
It is. It is. Sometimes you look at those guys as big as they are, and you think, okay, I mean, he'll be this type player right now. But I mean, Fabian Lovett looks probably as good as any defensive lineman I've ever been around. But he's still a baby. I say a baby. He's still young, and it just takes continuing to due to certain things on a daily basis that we would have to do to continue to get him to grow.
You see the same kind of thing with Nathan Pickering, this guy come in with,
Yep.
but is just trying to bring him along.
He's got a lot of talent, but it goes back to what I said earlier. You know, I mean, he was one of those guys that was bigger, stronger, faster than everybody. And he just put his hands on people, throw them around, look all over the place, and make plays. And I think that's the biggest thing that he's had to adjust to is just the speed of the game. But he's getting better weekly, and we're expecting a lot of things from him here in the over his career.
When you see guys